What's up, everybody? Welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Paco Siller. I'm here with my good friend Colton Kooker. Let's see if I can point. Yes, wait.
Hey,
right?
what's up, everybody?
Yeah, Colton Kooker. He's a motion graphic artist and also a friend of mine. We've worked together before in the past in a studio. It's where I got my start with video. He's been at it for a while. So before we get into his proper introduction, I do want to get over some housekeeping items. So first of all, let's go ahead and look at the schedule. There it is. So once again, this morning, Evan Abrams kicked off the day with some sweet motion graphics and AfterEffects, a getting started stream. Then we had the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge with Paul Tranny. We're live right now with some motion graphics with Colton Kooker and myself. Then we'll have the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge with Claudia. After that, packaging design with Jeremy and Andrew Hawk, which was awesome. Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge with my good friend as well, Howard Pinsky. These are all good friends, by the way. Draw along with Kyle T. Webster, and then the design off with Voodoo Val and Two Senseless. All right, so let's give some love to the chat. I see Massimiliano, Tunk, Tim, Sam Peterson, hello, Eric, Michelle, Malik, Alberto, Eric Sue, Sophie. Yes, everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, go ahead and tell us where you all are tuning in from. We love seeing just all those different locations where everybody's coming together to watch all these live goodness. Yeah. Hey, Steve, good to see you. Cool. One more thing to go over is the Premiere Pro Discord channel that we're actually going to be taking a look at about an hour and a half into the stream. So if you did want to join that Discord just to see what's going on, there's no current daily challenge. It's actually still a continuation from last week. We're just still looking at those challenges that Jason Levine hosted. But the Discord channel is very still live and kicking. So here's the link. So I encourage you all that want to get started with video, with understanding the basics of Premiere Pro to go over here and have a look at those challenges. And if you're even able to complete a challenge between now and when we look them over them, Colton and I will gladly look at those. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce Colton. Colton, what do you do? What's your quick background for for the people that didn't tune in yesterday? And yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, I'm just the editor, animator. Lately, I've been more of a producer, creative director. I have my own studio called Avey Creative here in Denver, Colorado.
And while you're at it, I'm actually going to pull up your website so people can see.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
here
so
we are, Avey Creative.
Yeah, we do a lot of motion graphics. We do like some VJ clips for music festivals around the world. A lot of tech company branding videos. Stuff for websites. Classic stuff. I'm
gonna play some of your videos, but I'm gonna mute the sound just in case we have some songs we can't play.
Yeah, let's just play on the reel for a sec, maybe.
Yeah. So here's the Avey Creative reel. I think you'll probably be able to hear it, Colton, but everybody
I can hear the music.
I don't want to get flagged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is just an idea of the type of work. So that's some cool VJ clips. Was that Cinema 4D video that you did?
Yeah, that's Cinema 4D. This is AfterEffects.
Yeah, this is the Adobe Live sizzle reel that he played for us that's still playing on our social channels. Yeah, so
we do all kinds of animation.
We do good. Yeah, so this is awesome. So that's kind of a taste of what Colton Kooker and his team does. Really beautiful motion graphic heavy videos. This one's so cool. I love this Cinema 4D music video that you did.
Yeah, this is for Unlimited Gravity, dubstep producer. This is some tech company client work.
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff here.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's a little bit of intro of what Colton does along with his company, Avey Creative. So yeah, now that we have a proper introduction, let's just go ahead and jump into AfterEffects and do a continuation. I'm going to switch to your screen, Colton, but when we switch, let's just give everybody like a quick rundown of what it is we're doing and what are we continuing from yesterday.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. So yesterday we were working on a 15-second promo video for a rock band's upcoming album release. The destination will eventually be like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, things like that. We kind of made just a quick creative brief here just to get our thoughts organized. We know that the band is punk rock, so that we're thinking gritty, rough rock and roll, but they also have synths in their music. So maybe some nightlife, neon elements mixed in. We know we want some text elements that are gonna say the name of the band, the Maslows, the album name, which is Community Locker, and the release date, which is what we still need to do today. We got started on a transitional element. Today we're gonna edit in some video footage in Premiere. We're gonna put it all to a song, maybe get some sound effects in there for extra sizzle.
Just a fun fact for everybody. The Maslows, actually this promo that Colton's working on, is actually a band that Colton is in. So this is like a cool double whammy. He does video for his professional career, but he also has a band on the side, and he gets to do other cool like video promos and motion graphic heavy like social promos. So he's like a wizard of many hats.
A wizard. So it's a little bit self-promotional, but it's cool because this is such a real project that I think everyone could easily go out there and get. There's so many bands that need Instagram material. Like, it's a really easy way to boost your reel. You could even like say when the band is going to put this on Instagram, they can just tag you. It's a good way to get your name out there. I've gotten a ton of client work from doing things like this. So let's just kind of refresh on what we made yesterday. Cool. And if you're doing that,
sorry, I just want to give some love to the chat real quick. People are just coming in where they're from. We got Alberto from Miami, Jennifer from Maryland, Sophie from Providence, Alejandro from Bolivia, Steve from New Zealand. I love New Zealand, by the way. Malik from Suriname, Hugh O'Connor from Lower Haight. Hugh, if you were right down the street from me, I'm actually in Upper Haight. Let's see. So Masiliamo from Sicily, Walter from Hamburg, Joseph from Los Angeles. Oh, so much. I love it. Thank you all for chiming in. Stay engaged with us. Ask us any questions. We're here to help you out with anything motion graphics related. We're all here to design together. So please engage with us. All right, Colton, back to you.
Yeah, that's super cool. I'm so glad to hear people from around the world are tuning in.
Yeah.
So just quickly for the people that weren't here yesterday and for the people that were, we just got started on some titles. Has multiple layers of details. We're getting kind of a gritty texture mixed with some neon flashes. We added these lines that kind of sort of represent guitar strings, maybe. I mean, no one that watches the video.
The cowbell lines, as we
dubbed the cowbell lines. Yeah, just like it's all about creating this internal logic and narrative that helps us make decisions. We made a second title for the name of the band. And by the way, after the stream yesterday, I went and just tweaked a couple of things that were more to my liking. So it might look just a tiny bit different, but it's mostly the same. We got a transition. This one I tweaked a little bit because I wasn't feeling super happy with that at the end of the stream yesterday.
Check that out. Yeah, I love how this one came out. Yeah, you have like the congruent like circles with the lines all kind of going in the same place. Yeah, it's super cool.
It's a little bit faster than we had, and I think it'll just be a nice way to get us in and out of full frame graphics into video footage. Maybe we're not going to use it for every edit, but just a way to spice things up sometimes.
Kevin is saying, yes, more cowbell lines.
Yeah. Can never get enough cowbell lines.
There's never enough cowbell lines.
So I think what we want to jump into is just going back to the creative brief real quick. We know we just need the release date. Let's go ahead and do that one. So I think we can use the Maslow's comp as a base, although I think we'll make this comp a little bit different. So I'm just going to Command D to duplicate it. Title this one.
Walter's asking, where can you purchase the Buffalo font? I couldn't Google it.
Designcuts.com.
Designcuts.com. There it is.
Yeah, I can. I think I have the link. Oh, yeah. Designcuts.com.
There it is.
And like I said, they always have deals and promotions going on, so definitely recommend getting them on sale. I like to buy the font bundles where you can get a bunch for low price. Which, by the way, fonts or typefaces, they're a little bit pricey, but totally worth the investment because they get you so far.
Yeah. And there's all sorts of fonts out there, right? Like we have Adobe Typekit just has like literally hundreds and thousands of fonts to do it. And then we have like the premium fonts. And you know, like premium is obviously premium. You'll get a little more, you get what you pay for. You get all these crazy font weights. Like I think Buffalo, we were looking at it. It's probably closer to like 20 different weights that it has.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
like
fonts out there.
Typekit is definitely the place to start. That is,
yeah, definitely start at Typekit. It comes with your
but...
Creative Cloud membership. But if you're looking for something a little more and Typekit doesn't have it, then go ahead and check out premium fonts.
Yeah, definitely.
Adobe fonts. Yes. Thank you, Tim, for correcting us.
Adobe fonts. All right. So what I was thinking for the release date, which technically this album doesn't have an official release date, but let's say it's June 19th. Maybe we can tease it in a little bit, because you know this is kind of the big reveal for the video. So rather than have it just simply like pop on the screen, maybe like the numbers are kind of like flashing in slowly. You can't quite tell what it says, and then eventually it fully reveals.
It's like subliminal Easter eggs. It's like, is that the date that I'm seeing?
So I was thinking maybe like our neon flashes were pretty dope. Maybe all right, so let's just say it's June 19th, 2020.
Is this the official release date, by the way, or which is?
This is not the official release date. I mean, this was one of our considerations for release date, but we haven't heard back from like CD printing and all that if it's gonna happen or not.
Got it.
We're going a little old school. We're gonna actually get CDs and vinyls printed and everything.
Nice. There's still love for vinyl, I would argue.
Yeah,
Here
I think so too.
Haight Street is a pretty popular street in San Francisco, and they have a huge store dedicated to just vinyl records and CDs. And it's still alive and kicking in business. It's like Amoeba or something, but there is a lot of vinyl in there.
Yeah, I actually just bought a record player last year, and I love it.
Yeah, there's still love for it. Chat, do you still listen to vinyl records? Are you on CD? Are you in the digital format now? Is it all Spotify? Let us know what you listen to for music.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just gonna bring these layers past our text animators because we're gonna just kind of skip over that section. So see how we're kind of just flashing in, we're teasing these letters or these numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
And then once we finally hit these red flashes, maybe that's when we get a full reveal. And I'm thinking we've already used these guitar lines. I mean, maybe we can keep the lines, but just switch it up a bit.
Like a different color or different direction?
Like maybe, I don't know, this is a final reveal. Maybe like there's more lines. It's like all the songs coming together. It's like all the elements. Like I always feel kind of insane when I'm talking through this out loud, but just trying to give you a sense of like where my
is. Yeah, that's what we want to hear. We want to hear where this internal gears are shifting and how it's all coming up with this design. Cool. We have some people chiming in about music. Jake Bartlett says yes to Amoeba. I think, Jake, you're the one that lives in Lower Haight, so I'm sure you know all about it. Jason Rose actually said that the day you have on screen is his birthday, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, happy birthday. My birthday is the 20th, so
whoa, you guys are day apart.
Yeah. So
Steve says digital music mostly. Tim, sorry, all MP3. The bitrate is high enough. I can't tell the difference. Of course, Tim.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's pretty tough.
And then Image Seller Designer says, I listen to the Maslows on Spotify all day.
Nice. Thank you, Image Seller. I think Image Seller should print us some shirts.
Yeah.
All right, this is pretty cool. All right, so I want to make this line a little bit longer, and it wasn't showing up. That's because my mask paths were on. Mask and shape path visibility. Oops.
And all these lines are one shape layer, right? You just added a repeater to that?
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet.
So I'm just stretching this out. I was just thinking like something like this could be cool while these neon lights are flashing in. Like, just give it a little bit texture and background.
Oh, nice.
Something like this. You know what I'm not super digging is how these letters are a little bit high up, and that's because we still have our text animators on.
Mm-hmm.
So let's, the ones that were changing position, let's just toggle that off. I'll just get rid of them without losing the work that we've done on them. Something like this. I mean, this
Yeah,
is,
I like that.
it's like even a little bit fast. Like it's not quite a tease. Maybe we should stretch our comp out a little bit. Like,
Steve and Michelle claimed that they got into vinyl before it was cool.
oh yeah.
That's awesome.
The OGs. All right, where did my lines go? Lost my lines, guys. Oh, it's because our track mat wasn't over it. It's easy to get lost.
Yeah, with all the layers stacking.
All right, this is cool. This is cool. Yeah, I kind of did this wrong. I stretched layers out without moving the keyframes. All right, let's make these lines last a bit longer.
So are we trying to extend the animation because you thought it was a little too fast?
Yeah, it just didn't really feel like much of a tease, like a slow fade in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of wanting this to sort of like be teasing the viewer, like, oh, what does it say?
6/19/2020. I think that's Jason Rose's birthday.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, like I said, I did this all wrong. So I scooted the layers when I meant to scoot keyframes too, so we're just fixing that up real quick. All right, cool.
Looking good.
So all right, I feel like that's just,
Yeah.
even that half second kind of made a difference. All right, cool. I'm happy with it. You guys happy with it?
Yeah, I think it was looking good. This is a little technical question, Colton, but Massimiliano is asking, do you have some tips about the upload after color grading into Instagram? The clips become high saturated red and I can't find out why. Might be an encoding issue. Yeah, maybe when you export, if you used different color space when you're working on your project and it switches back to like 8-bit RGB, it might be affecting your colors. That'd be my guess on it.
That's also my guess. And I will also say that red is like the nightmare color. That's the one that always seems to get screwed up in color space.
Yeah, we during the early days of Adobe Live, we had some different capture hardware and it never played well with reds. I think in general, just like high saturated reds just like can be problem colors with like rendering on H.264 or something.
Yeah, it's totally true. Yeah, I would just keep an eye on like how many times it's getting converted before it actually gets uploaded. Maybe try using a direct uploader like on your desktop, like Flume or one of those apps.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's probably not super helpful. Sorry, man. All right, so I think we have all the comps that we want, at least for now. I think we're ready to hop into Premiere and check that out.
Cool.
So let's get these in the render queue. So I'm just gonna select all our comps that we're happy with. First, let's just make sure our workspace, like the in and out point up here, is where we want it. That one looks good. That looks good. Good. Cool. All right, so now we can select these directly from our bin. And I just use Command-Shift ? That'll send them all to the render queue. You could also send them to Media Encoder if you want, but I just have it just kind of depends on how many things you're rendering, like if you need to be using AfterEffects while they render or not, and we do not, so this will be fine.
That's the biggest one between if I do it on After Effects or if Adobe Media Encoder is if you still need to be using After Effects while rendering. So like, for example, I have to make all the assets for our live shows and it's just bop, 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 bop.
Yeah.
If I use the render inside of After Effects, it's just going to stall it. So I send it to Adobe Media Encoder so I can just like keep hammering them down.
Yeah.
But for this, if it's like a super quick one, then yeah, this is good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But since I know what we're doing here, this will just be faster.
For sure.
All right, so QuickTime is good. We're going to pick ProRes 4444. That's because this one has an alpha channel. And since we know like our transition, for example, has an alpha channel that like a transparent see-through part of it, we're gonna need that alpha layer. And ProRes just plays really well with Premiere, so that's what we're gonna do. Everything else looks good to me. And then we can just select this first guy here to tell it where to render to. My hard drive fell asleep, so it's just taking a sec here.
You're still using the Drobo.
I have the Drobo here. It got full, so I've got a little G-RAID action.
Nice, RAID action.
All right, here's my folder structure. I'm going to keep these renders inside After Effects. We'll just got a little render folder here. I have some of my tests in 01, so I'm going to make a new 02.
I want to give a shout out real quick to this folder structure. All right. Everybody take notes on that just because an organized project is a happy project, right? When you start saving your assets and your Premiere files or After Effects files all in a nice organization like this, it really makes your life easier instead of just like trying to find out where you saved what. And it's just, you know, like clear organization, clear mind. It just really kind of helps project flows smooth out.
Totally. And just a quick tip about organizing. I see a lot of people that have organized folders, but they don't have this number system. And what's so cool about this is it kind of takes you through the order you work on a project, like starting from pre-production all the way to your final renders. And when you pass it off to like another editor or someone that's going to work on the project after you, this can really like help them see the order that the files got processed.
Right. I think that's one of the first things that you taught me and my brother at Digital Accomplice is like your little folder structure, and been using it ever since, that number system.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah.
Very, very useful.
Yeah. And definitely like, you know, change it however you see fit. But this is just what always has worked for me. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Cool. So since, just to quickly reiterate, since all of these are selected, you only have to pick one and then you can hit save and they'll all go to the same place. So we're ready to hit render. And this should go pretty quick. I have an iMac Pro, which renders really fast.
Nice.
All right. In the meantime, let's open up Premiere. We're going to start a new project here. We'll call it the Maslow's album promo 1. And then same thing, saving the project structure. Oh yeah, I had some tests going here. So we're going to call this 03. We're making sure the sound was working earlier.
Yep.
All right, and then I'll just close. This is really cool that the new versions of Premiere let you open multiple projects at once, but it can get really messy. So I suggest only having one open at a time. I'm just going to close these test ones.
Cool.
All right. This might seem a little boring, but I think it's just like really worth hammering in the organization. You really want to put everything in folders.
Yep. I think just with that folder structure on your actual desktop, it's equally as important in these apps. Like even with After Effects, right? Like when you dynamic link a composition from Premiere Pro to After Effects, it'll give you the footage and the composition and they're there. Like I make a habit of putting it like asset comps or like final comps, and this organization with video production is just super, super helpful. And it's really going to make your life easier if you make a habit out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because the main thing is when you're going to like, you know, open a project up a year later to do some edits and you're just like, it's a headache if you have to dig through it or if you're passing it off to someone else.
Yeah, and believe me, it happens. Sometimes you think client projects are dead and like a year or like 2 years will go by, and then you'll get that email and they're like, hey, do you still have this? And if they're not numbered like that or organized, you're going to be like, no, I got to dig it up.
Yeah. All right. So
Kevin Lowe says, good tip on the numbering folder structure. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a great tip.
All right. So what I want to do now is get the video footage. Say this was sent from the client. I mean, this is actually just sent from the band. And yeah, it's totally missing.
But if you want to search for it, I can plug the community chat fund.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and talk about that for a second? I'll grab this.
So I want to plug the community fund, right? So what this is, it is a $1 million community fund aimed at providing resources for creatives negatively impacted by COVID. So the project will run entirely through 2020, so there's no rush to apply. Not all that apply will be selected, but creatives can apply for project funding or commission through Adobe. So I'm going to go ahead and show you all that landing page. And one of the mods, Tim, can put, oh, he beat me to it. Oh, Tim, too good, too good. So there's the link that Tim just put in the chat. And here's the landing page. So I encourage you all, if you're creatives that are struggling through these times, go ahead and take a look at this. And then go ahead and apply if this is something that speaks to you. And it could be some funding for some projects that you're working on right now. Okay, so there it is. The Adobe Creative Residency Community Fund 2020. All right, come back to you, Colton.
All right.
Cool.
Cool. So I found these in my test project real quick. I'm just going to get this closed though. Okay, here we go. All right, so I found the video footage that was sent from the client, and we talked about this yesterday. How most of it's in 23.976. One of them's in 30, but that's okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I really recommend everyone get in the habit of this, is create proxies. So even though I have a iMac Pro that can easily handle this footage, most people are going to have like a laptop or something that's going to play in their timeline kind of choppy. And the way to get around that is editing in proxies. And it's way easier than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
Do you do this, Paco?
I do. It's actually something that I learned a little bit later in my video career, but proxies are just super cool thing to do because it will turn that like 2014, 2015 MacBook Pro or laptop that has like i7 or the minimum specs into like an honestly like still pretty solid editing machine. And what it pretty much does is it takes like the clip that you're going to be working with and it turns it into an edit-friendly codec. You do have to set that. I think Premiere already has some defaults you can work with, like ProRes or like the GoPro Cineform, I think plays well as well.
Yep.
But it's super, super useful because some codecs just aren't really optimized for editing. Like H.264, believe it or not, is a great delivery codec, but it's not the greatest codec to edit with, especially if you're working with a machine that isn't really caught up to speed. So if you make proxies out of it, then it'll actually make your editing life so much easier and play it a lot smoother than it would if it was just like a raw native like H.264 file.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's so easy. So we just take this folder that we have our footage in, just right click, go down to proxy, create proxies.
That easy.
And yeah, QuickTime is fine. And I'm just going to make it the smallest one just so it plays ultra smooth.
Yeah.
I like to just put the proxies next to the original media in the folder. Just keeps it organized if you're ever going to move the folder. And yeah, this will send it to Media Encoder, and this will just take a couple minutes. But while it's cranking, we can work on other stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. Cool. Look how fast it's already flying.
Nice. And Steve said, "Oh, Jason Levine did a stream of that 2 weeks ago." Yeah, I think I remember that. I think Jason dedicated a whole stream on proxy. So super, super useful. If you have a machine that's struggling with editing right now, don't toss it just yet or upgrade. Just have a look at proxies and see if that is a manageable workflow with the current machine you have.
So now I'm just going to get a few of the songs that I'm considering using for this promo. I think these ones probably be good options. Just going to drag these into the audio. Also going to get our sequence set up. So we said that we were going to do 23.976, 1080p. So this preset just happens to work for us.
Cool.
We'll call this Mazlo's promo 01. All right, I'm just going to drag these songs down here so we can just kind of take a look at what we're working with.
Cool.
I know that it was
We're gonna play
really
some tunes here.
hot earlier.
Yeah, I'll stop the tunes that everybody's listening to, and then feel free to play that song. So is this the Maslow's?
Yep, this is the
Cool.
Maslow.
So you're gonna get a sneak peek into some Maslow's music.
Yeah, sneak peek. These are in the mixing process right now, not mastered, so they're a little rough, but we'll just look for something that is going to work for a promo. And I know we're going to want like a chorus, like a high energy, because this is only 15 seconds. We don't have much time for like a build up.
Right.
So I'm thinking that's a possibility.
Okay. It's pretty catchy.
That's definitely a possibility.
I like that one. That's catchy.
We can put a quick marker on this just by hitting M. That'll remind us.
Cool.
We'll check out the chorus in this one, see what one we vote. All right, we've got 3 options. What's the vote?
Cool. Yeah. Let's play those again real quick. It's gonna take a little seconds for everybody to respond, but let us know which version you like. And Tim did make a good point. This sound obviously sounds way better on Colton's side. We're getting a compressed version of it because it's coming through the platform that we're using to patch Colton in. So it's gonna sound a little compressed, but we can still hear the audio to get an idea what it is.
Yeah, just get the vibe, see if you can hear the energy.
Yeah, so let's why don't we have the audience pick which one they like. So there's one. Let's go ahead and play one.
All right. Here's option 1.
Here's option 1. Cool. Let's check 2 out.
Option 2.
I think I already see a winner, but
All right.
cool. And then let's check out number 3.
Oops. It's really glitching.
Nice. I do think we have a winner just seeing everybody's responses, and they're all saying number 3. So
3. Cool.
I think we can roll with number 3.
Let's do it.
Nice. Thanks all for taking part in that. That was fun. Yeah. This is all like
fun.
crowdsourced from the community. You get to decide how this promo is going to play out.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Let's just cut it. So we know it's going to be about 15 seconds, which is probably like one chorus. Let's just see. All right. So we're going to start it at beat
That's a
1.
catchy song. Is that one out on your Spotify yet?
Nope. That'll be coming out on the album.
Love it.
All right, and that's like perfectly 15 seconds. So good work, people.
People are still chiming in with number 3. So
all right, nice.
I think we got the right one.
Yeah. All right, so let's check on our proxies.
Cool.
Woohoo! They're done. All right.
Nice.
So I'm gonna show you kind of how I would go about finding selects for this, which is maybe a little different than what a lot of editors would do. What I like is to take, since it's kind of a hodgepodge of footage and random clips that we got, and it's only 5 of them, I'm just gonna grab them all and put them on the timeline.
I recognize that clip. This looks like your music video that you guys shot.
That's right.
Yeah. We should get a link of the music video at the end so people can watch that.
Yeah.
The music video.
Yeah,
It's a pretty
definitely.
fun music video. I like it.
All right, I'm realizing I had already put in some in and out markers, so I'm just gonna clear these real quick so you can see what I did. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna grab all these, put them down. You can just hold Option and drag to just select only the audio. And what's cool about this, well, first let's make sure we got the proxies working. So how you can toggle proxies on and off is this button right here. And if you don't have this button, just hit the plus, and it's this one that says toggle proxies. And then you'll just drag that down into your toolbar.
Yeah.
Then you'll hit OK. And as long as that's blue, you know the proxies are enabled. So if I toggle it on and off, you can see like these black bars are showing up because it was like forcing a conformed format.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just going to allow us to play it really smooth, scrub through really easy. See, I'm like scrubbing through really fast and there's no glitching or anything.
Cool.
So what I like to do when I just have this kind of crazy hodgepodge is just go through, and I have my fingers on C and V on the keyboard because that's going to toggle between like our blade or cut tool, and then V, which is an arrow. The V kind of looks like an arrow. That's how I remember those two. And I'm just thinking, all right, that's kind of cool. So I hit C, cut it, just go a little forward, cut again, and I'm going to drag this up. So video 2 is going to be my selects layer.
Did you shoot this footage or who shot it?
This is just a local videographer.
Nice.
Got some good headbanging going. Maybe we'll grab that.
Cool. There's a method to this.
Shot.
I forgot what it's called, but what you're pretty much doing is just kind of picking the selects and putting them on track 2, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And I'll show you why this is going to be a good method for this particular video.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of cool. Have this guy rocking out. I'll just try to do this quick because we only got 15 seconds, so we're not trying to fill a lot of time. This was our acoustic version of the music video. Let me skip to the real music video. That might have a little more. And you'll see it looks super stretched. That's just because this was a widescreen format and it's getting pushed into a proxy. Mm-hmm. That's no big deal. Some funny stuff from this one. We'll grab some of this rocking out. That's kind of cool because it already has like some flashes in it.
Nice. Some natural flashes. Happy mistakes.
Yep. Grab some of Nate singing. Got everyone partying. Oh yeah, we haven't got much drums yet, so let's grab this drum shot.
Quinn is asking if there will be an issue if you use warp stabilizer on a proxy.
Yeah, you probably would not use warp stabilizer on a proxy. You would probably toggle them off to do fine tuning like that. Like color correction, you do not do on proxies. Yep. I wouldn't do stabilizing.
Yeah, I think proxies are great just for kind of getting that cut together when you really want to start adjusting clips for like VFX or color grading or stabilization. You actually want to do it on the actual clip.
Just a couple more clips here. Okay, and so now what I'm gonna do, since we have this kind of selected, I'm actually gonna duplicate the sequence and call this one 2, and maybe we'll even say that it's gonna be our selects. Mm-hmm. And so now what we can do is just select the ones that we didn't pick. And then we'll drag out of my screen's pretty big. Maybe you can't really tell that I have all these video 2 layers selected. But
yeah,
I just dragged around them and grabbed them. Okay, cool. So I selected all the ones that we had picked. And then you can go to sequence, close gap. Now it puts them all together.
Oh, that's rad. I didn't know that. It's like the ripple delete, but automatic.
Yeah, now we just have all of our selects right here.
Nice.
And what's cool about still having our old sequence is, say the client, which I know I don't have a client for this video, but if they came back and said, we want to use different shots than what you had picked, you can come back here and see, oh, these are the ones I already used. So don't use those. I'm going to pick new ones. And then this time I'm going to put them on track 3. And now I know this is my second round.
I like that.
It just really helps, like when you have lots of cutout picks and selects and you're getting confused on what you've used and haven't used.
Right. We got Gus Man in the chat. Gus Man works for Adobe Live Team. Yep. Welcome, Gus. Thanks for joining us. It says Paco Colton.
What's up, Gus?
Gus Martin. I think Gus plays the guitar as well. Remind me if you do, Gus. I think I've seen a guitar.
Guitarist in the house. All right, we're gonna go back and see if in our After Effects render folder, this is my bad, I didn't put them all in the right folder, but all right, in our O2 folder, we have all of our renders from After Effects. Oh no. Oh, see, I accidentally messed up earlier, and when we rendered these, I did not have them all selected like I thought I did.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna do this one more time. I'll go quick. So we know that those 3 were mistakes. I'm just getting rid of those. All right. Back to Premiere.
All right, remember everybody, we have about 45 minutes before we start looking at that Premiere Discord. So again, here's that link to kind of go in there and check out what's going on, the challenges that Jason did, and we'll be looking at submissions and giving some feedback based on video editing and motion graphics and all that. So if you have some stuff that you want to upload, some videos that you've been trying, go ahead and put it on there. It's a safe space. It's a great community, great place to get started and get feedback from professionals. So yep, feel free to go on in there and submit your submissions.
So you know what I'm realizing we forgot to do that I thought maybe we would do is add some sound effects.
Oh,
and I think
sound effects.
that always just brings animations to life.
I agree. We touched up on this a little bit. Sound design really levels up that motion graphics. Like, it's one thing to just have them, but when you attach a sound to it, it's like really starts to feel next level.
Yeah, it's what really brings it to life. Mm-hmm. So yesterday I was using Motion 3 by Mount Mograph, and today I'm going to use Boombox by Mount Mograph. It's like I said, it's a After Effects plugin company located here in Denver, Colorado that I really like the guys. What's so cool about this is we can add sound effects directly in After Effects.
Sweet.
So let's say like, I don't know, like maybe like a glitch. And all I have to do is type up here in the search bar, like glitch, and it'll come up with sounds that are tagged that way.
Right.
So you can hear that, right?
Whoa. Yeah. Super glitchy.
Super glitchy. So
scramble.
I think the scrubbing glitch is kind of cool. So all I have
Let's
to
play
do
it
is
again, and then I'll be quiet so you can actually. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Glitch. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
it's interesting
glitch.
at least. We can always change them later.
Right.
So I just want to put my playhead where I want the peak of the sound to happen. Mm-hmm. And the peak is represented by this yellow line on the waveform. So I'm thinking right where we have the red flashes is where we'll want the peak. So then I just come up here, I hit plus, and it automatically puts the sound in with the peak at that point. So let's see what that is like.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. I think we want like a swish maybe for this intro, like something like that.
Alberto is saying Decepticons. This kind of sounds like a Decepticon. Kevin Lowe is asking, can we get the link to that plugin? Well, Kevin Lowe, we have a treat for you.
Yeah, we do.
Great segue to this little treat that we're going to treat you all for joining in.
I'm very excited to say that we have a promo code for both Motion and Boombox.
Yeah.
So go to www.mountmograph.com, and if you type in Avey as a promo code, you'll get 25% off both Motion 3 and Boombox, either or.
Right.
Or both.
That's awesome. This is a special promo just for tuning into Adobe Live. Colton was able to get this through Mount Mograph, which is someone that you know personally, right? And is a friend?
Yeah. I'm really close with all the guys over at Mount Mograph. They're really good dudes. And the plugins are already very affordable, like compared to most After Effects plugins. So it's like kind of a no-brainer. I use them on every single project.
So go ahead and give that a whirl if you're into it. There's a promo code and a little treat for you all for watching Adobe Live with Colton.
Yep.
Jamie saying, Avey. Hey Paco, hey Colton, the dynamic duo back together. Aw.
Aw. All right.
Cool. So Tim just linked the plugins in the chat. So links are right there.
Cool. I'm just looking for some more potential sounds. I don't know. That might be too intense. Let's try it though.
That sounded super Decepticon-y. Now that's all. I'm just going to hear transformer noises now that Alberto pointed it out.
Let's see. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Is there hey Colton, is there a way to lower the sound effects through After Effects? It's coming in a little hot.
Is that hot?
Live stream. Yeah, I know we can in Premiere, and if After Effects is not, I can do it through Wirecast, but I just don't want to deafen our poor viewers. If you can, it's all right. I can just do it on my end. I just know there was a quick switch.
I think I can just lower this. Let's see if that helped.
Cool. Yeah. Maybe a little more. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little better. Sweet.
Cool. All right. The world of sound effects is deep and easy to get lost in, so I don't want to spend too much time with this. I just wanted to show how we could do that. And then I'm just gonna re-render this one. And you can actually just replace the file. So I'll just select alpha again. I'm just gonna go in here and just click the Maslow's, say save and replace. Render, and then it's just gonna replace that file, but now it's gonna have a sound effect on it.
Cool.
So now we'll come in here. We gotta throw our graphics into our graphics folder. And then we got it. Oh, this is because we need to activate audio track. All right. So we're gonna have the sound effects on audio track 2. I better lower that because I know it's coming in hot.
Yeah. Sweet. We'll spare our poor ears from our audience.
So I'm gonna have all the graphics on track 2 and all the video footage on track 1, just so I can keep it kind of organized in my head. All right, cool. Good start. We know we're going to try to use our transition element to get out of the graphics. So I'm going to throw this on track 3, and we're just going to put our I better turn off scrubbing, huh? Because that's gonna just get distracting.
So what you're gonna do now, it's gonna stop playing the audio every time you scrub.
Yeah.
Like play audio while scrubbing. Cool.
Yeah, that's in the
Cool little fun tip.
I usually leave that on because it's helpful to like hear where you're at, but it can be annoying. So you can turn it off in the preferences under audio. All right, so now when I scrub, we're all good.
So Casairo has a good question. They're asking, couldn't you just dynamic link the After Effects project?
Yeah, you definitely could. I have my preferred workflow is to commit to the graphics because I'm typically just a motion designer. I typically am not actually getting into Premiere like this. So for me, I'm more used to just going ahead and committing and rendering, but you could definitely do a dynamic link. I would recommend if you do a dynamic link to make sure you render and replace. Otherwise, your timeline is going to have red bars, which means you can't play it smoothly. It's not rendering. Does that make sense to you, Paco? Did I explain that right?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's got their own workflow, right? Colton is definitely a very confident motion graphic artist, so he just renders them out. I'm personally not. So I dynamic link just because I find it playing through the scrub line, and then I'm like, oh, well, why did I make a transition 30 seconds long, right? So then I'll just go back and then quickly do it. But Colton's definitely a different workflow because he's obviously a wizard in all this, so this workflow works for him. So yeah, it's just kind of personal preference for everybody.
Yeah, totally. And like I said, I definitely would go ahead and do dynamic link if that's something you're comfortable with.
Yep.
All right, so I put my playhead where I know I want the cut to be, and then I'm going to select a transition, and using command and the arrows, I can frame by frame move this over until it's exactly in the middle of the transition where it covers up the cut. Let's see what this looks like. Cool.
Nice.
I think it looks good. All right, so next is going to be community locker graphic. It would be cool if these were hitting on the beats of the chorus. Let's see where that would be.
Right nice. There. Editing to the beat. Jason actually had an entire challenge based on editing to the beat on the Premiere Pro Discord. So another plug for that.
Yeah, editing to the beat is a great starting point.
Yeah, I agree. If you have some music, try editing to the beat. You'll see your edits kind of flow a lot smoother and nicer.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say once you get a little bit more advanced is considering editing on the offbeat. So, you know, if the beat's like doons, cats, try editing on the doons, that part.
There you go.
People don't think about that, but that has just as good a flow. So now I'm wondering how we're going to have this tease date come in. And I'm not worrying about the footage quite yet because the main beats are the graphics. So I'm going to kind of fill in the footage afterwards. But notice how smoothly it's playing since we got everything proxied and since these are fully rendered.
I think it's coming a little glitchy with us just because we're doing patch in, but for you, I'm sure it's like super smooth.
Oh yeah, it's amazing over here.
It's so smooth. It's great.
So hopefully you can kind of tell what's going on here, but I'm thinking as soon as it exits the chorus and goes back into this guitar riff is when we get the full reveal. So again, I'm going to use this like hold command and arrow over until I know that, yeah, these flashes.
Nice. And you're using the wavelength audio bars to kind of get that snare, right?
Yep, I can see that there's this
Check it out. There it is.
Right here.
Yeah.
So this transient is actually in the middle of a frame. So you kind of just got to pick one side or the other, whatever feels natural. All right.
We got Felipa Gomez in the house. She's saying, hey, hey, hey. Hey, Felipa, welcome.
Hey.
Welcome to the chat.
Excited to have you here. Hopefully you're learning tiny little things. All right. let's hit play from the beginning and see where we're at. All right, that's pretty
Looking
cool.
good.
I think it actually hit like off the beat a little bit, so I'm gonna fix that. So you know what? This was a snare, actually. You were right, not the kick drum. So I need to adjust this. Cool.
Looking good.
All right, we used the transition once, but maybe we can use it a couple more times. I don't want to overdo it.
Right.
All right, again, using command and arrows.
Yeah, and these transitions, we definitely want to have it where it takes over the screen to hide that cut. That's the beauty of how these transitions work.
Yeah, you want them. So when we were in After Effects, we made sure that there was a moment where every pixel right here was filled with something. And so that's our cut mark. And it usually only lasts like a frame. I guess we have it lasting like 3 frames.
Right.
But often when you're making really short, second-long transitions, it'll only be like 1 frame.
Kevin Lowe saying, great seeing the whole process from yesterday. Very, very cool. Yep. For those of you who tuned in yesterday, you're getting to see these motion graphics that we made from scratch and After Effects come to play into this actual edit. So this is all really, really cool how it's all coming together.
Awesome. Yeah. So one thing I'm thinking about is like, how are we going to end this if it's in the middle of a song? So I'm thinking usually at the end of a song, you can find the last hit. So
boom, there it is.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's going to work
Yeah, that is a
perfectly
great
for
one.
editing then.
And that was all chosen by you all for picking that third option. Yeah, great thinking.
Go option 3, go chat.
Go chat. Polk
right.
Music is saying, what's up? Great stream. Polk Music, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Polk Music. All right, so I just use C to bring out the blade tool, then I'm dragging over this last hit, and now I'm going to find a place on beat that's going to feel natural to end this thing. So this is kind of in the middle of a phrase, just because I know the song, but let's see if it works. That's a little awkward.
A little bit of a hard cut.
Yeah, we'll see if we can smooth it out.
Yeah.
And I can tell it's starting to glitch on my side too, so it probably sounds horrible. So let's just try to breeze through this.
Sounds the same. Travis is saying, honestly, it's nice to just watch someone else work. Too often it's such a solitary process. Thanks for mentioning that, Travis, and thanks for being alongside with us as we create this. Yep.
I don't love it, but I think we're going to roll with it for now.
Okay.
And I'm noticing that we didn't make this comp quite long enough. But one thing we could do, since this is kind of glitchy anyways, I'm going to just loop it. So we'll just cut here and just option drag. Option drag. This is basically just copy and pasting quick way. And then, let's see.
The audio kind of cut out for us at the end there. I don't know if that happened to you as well. It could be just the patch in program too.
Yeah, let's play one more time, see if it sounds good or bad.
Yep, that was better.
I'd like to experiment with the transition, maybe use it one more time. I don't know, maybe it's not going to be good, but maybe it'll be a nice little period at the end. Oh, I think it's cool. What do you think?
Yeah, it got muffled again. I think like the sound suppression kicked in, but let's hear it again.
Okay.
There you go. Kind of ends on the cut.
Yeah, nice.
That's good.
All right, so now let's take a look at the footage, see what we're working with. And remember, we're in proxies, so it looks funky. It's got black bars. It's all squished, but it's just so that we can move quickly.
Mm-hmm.
right, so one thing I'm noticing, like this shot from the music video is going to feel a little random out of context. Let's clip that out of here. So again, just using C and V to cut and select. That shot's going to feel out of context. That's a scene from the music video. See how it works.
Just a quick time check. We have about 30 minutes until we're going to jump into the Premiere Discord channel. Then we'll probably have some time afterwards to keep doing some cutting and motion graphics stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I think what look at that hilarious shot. I think what we can do if we have time after the Discord, one thing we didn't really work on with this project that is often needed in motion graphics is like a background element, something that's kind of abstract that you could put text over, you could put graphs over.
Yeah, it's a great idea. What's that fancy word called for it? Like the mortise, I think, or mortise.
Yeah,
I always forget.
Yeah, mortise is really like
mortise.
A frame around something.
Right.
So that's kind of like a background. So that would, like, oftentimes if you see like, you know, like picture in picture, like it's a video inside of your video,
Got it.
You would use a mortise around the edge. And that's exactly like the kind of thing that you could use the background for.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Hugh O'Connor suggesting to put the end clip on another track and overlap ? Does that make sense? We might need some more elaboration on that one.
I'm wondering if he means putting this end cut over here.
I don't know. Let us know what you mean by that, Hugh. Cool. And then Kevin is saying, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to comment on a comment from the chat. Kevin saying, love to see the background graphic element. Yes.
All right, cool. Well, we'll plan on having time for that.
I think we'll have some time. So we'll finish this, and then if we got some time for sure, we'll dive into that.
Okay, cool. All right. So one thing I was noticing as we watch this, I'll just play real quick. So even though I love using sound effects, I'm thinking that since this is actually about the music, maybe it's distracting. Like, what if people are going to think it's part of the song? So I'm going to make the decision to take it out. Yeah. Although, like, I can't recommend highly enough using sound effects normally. So just keep that in mind, that this is like a decision based on the content. Like, it's about the music.
Right. This is all part of the editing process, right? Some things that like sound good to us and know have worked in the past may not work for this specific project. So that's the beauty of putting this all together. Some things work, some things don't.
Yeah, it's like, again, just coming back to the creative brief and remembering that, like, oh yeah, this is a 15-second promo for an album release. So maybe let's make sure the music is very clear.
Cool.
And then another thing is, like, since we just cut it in the middle of a song, let's make sure this is smooth. Like, it's pretty smooth, but what we could do is select this edge, hit Command D. That's just a fade in. And we can even make it just like 2 frames, just so that there's not a hard clip when someone hits play.
Nice. So that constant power effect is really cool for audio because it kind of like fades it in and fades it out.
Yeah.
That's also something that I remember you teaching my brother and I still use it to this day. I think is it Shift D is the shortcut for that, or Command D?
Yep. Yeah, Shift D.
Yeah, I still remember that one.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
Yeah.
And another thing we could do is, since we made this cut in the music at the end, we could select that cut and do a Shift D, and that'll just blend these.
Nice.
Which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. It's worth checking out just to see if that helps smooth over the cut. And actually, I think it did.
I think it did as well.
Hear it on your end, but yeah, and again, that's just like it's just an auto fade, constant power.
Cool. Colton, I'm thinking out loud here, but I think what would be cool, say when we finish all this and while we're in the middle of design feedback, it'd be cool if you can send me like just a final rendered version of this.
Yeah.
To my email, and then at the very end I can play it from my live streaming setup so everybody can kind of see it like with the music not suppressed and like it actually in real time. So
yeah,
some cool if we could pull off. So maybe at the end we can actually play this whole rendered thing that you've seen from scratch, designed and edited here, like in its final like flashy smooth version.
Yeah, we should, because I'm wondering if there's little details in the animation that aren't really coming through on Zoom, but who knows. All right, I'm just going to look at this video footage real quick. I mean, I think this is kind of editing itself in a way, because we're using footage that was already kind of high action. It's just, you know, just quick clips and for a promo. Yeah, let's make it a little bit more to the beat. This isn't like a music video, so I think this definitely makes sense to be cutting on beat.
Is that you with the long hair, by the way?
Yeah, this is a couple
Check out
summers
that
ago.
hair. Oh man, rocking the real rock haircut.
So maybe what we want to do is add some markers to this music to see where the beats are.
Okay.
So this one's kind of obvious. There's a beat there. This one's kind of obvious. This is kind of hard with the scrubbing off, but if you turn audio while scrubbing on, it's a lot easier. All right, so we know we got 3 beats there. Maybe we cut into the headbanging right there. Just see if this clip was natural. Definitely cut on beat there. Oh yeah, we got the dancing guy.
That was a great, like, quick flash of the dancing guy, whoever that is.
Oh, I love it. This guy,
Nice,
I happen to
good.
know him. He's actually in a band called the All Nighters. You guys check them out too. They're
The
really catchy
All-Nighters.
pop punk.
Nice.
Talented kid. Okay, I'm seeing a glitch here because I did a double edit. I should have done that. Getting a little. Oh, that was it. All right, I love how this video just happened to have these flashes right here because it's really working with our edit.
Yep.
Happy
Happy
accents.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Happy accidents.
All right, so one thing I'm not super digging is how our release date comp just has this gray screen
Just blank
at the beginning.
front. Yeah. I see that.
So maybe we should consider moving the transition. Like, I don't know if we want to use it more than 3 times in 19 seconds. It might get a little redundant. So either we can make another transition, which we might not have time in the stream, or we could just decide to put the transition here. Just let's see if this feels natural. Oh, if we cut on the beat, I think it will. That would be
That's a great still frame. I don't think she liked that cut. That's funny. Bow.
Cool. All right. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Let's watch the whole thing again, see if there's any suggestions.
There's a couple things I noticed there that was super cool. One, I just love the dancing guy. Like 2 or 3 frames of him. And then it looks like from the video when, is it Nate that's singing?
Yeah.
When Nate sings, it kind of looks like it's actually going with the vocals of the song. Like, again, we're not getting like the most smooth playback compared to you are, but it did kind of look like it was synced, like another happy accident. So let us know what you think in the chat. We're going to try and get an export towards the end of the stream so everybody can watch it with smooth playback. But just everybody, let us know your impressions, what you think of it. Do you think we could add another transition, or is it great as is? I think it's great as is, but let's hear what everybody's thinking about this video, because I think this is all looking super, super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walter saying, blimey, that looks cool. Steve saying,
blimey.
Blimey.
Love it.
Steve saying, really awesome. So yeah, I'm loving how this is coming out.
Cool. All right, let's see. How are we doing on time? What
so we have about 20. Yeah, we have 20 minutes before we get into the Premiere Pro Discord, and then we'll probably still have time after that. So maybe we have like 40 minutes of total design time left.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's think about what we want to do. So we could move on to the background.
Yeah, I would say, why don't we start working on the background? Just kind of start like setting up all the building blocks for that, and then we can go back to it and finish it.
Cool.
But yeah, let's do that. I'll get some tunes to play in the meantime for your hearing pleasure. There we go. Actually, Colton, do you think that version is done? Because I would say we could export now, so that way when we go into Premiere Pro, you can work on like you can work on like sending me a link. Joseph saying looks great as is. Plug music, great work, Colton. Cool. So let's get this rendered out, and then I'll try and get a direct link so we can actually like play this thing.
Cool. Yeah, I can just show you quickly. Like, this is probably super basic, but while you're on your sequence, you can just hit Command M. That brings up your render. You could also send it to Media Encoder, but again, like, just depends on what you got going on. It's fine to do it in Premiere too. Just select our output. I'm going to put in my final renders folder. And yeah, we're going to call this R1 for round 1. Oh, I already had a test in there. So we'll say promo live.
In the studio we used to work at, we used to see if we can hit sort of like an hole-in-one by like sending an R1 out to the client, and then they're like, this is great, no more feedback, which like of course never happens. I think it happened maybe once. And like, you know, that R1 will turn into like R7, R8, R9.
Yeah.
So
I always think R13 means something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
That's when you're really hating the project.
Yeah.
So funny. Like we Paco mentioned earlier, H.264 is a great delivery format. Match source high bitrate is a great starting point.
Yeah.
This is just going to match all your settings from the timeline, which is we were editing in the settings that we want. The only thing to maybe take a look at is your bitrate settings. If you're doing like a final delivery, I might go ahead and like kick this up to 30. Our source footage wasn't high bitrate, so that's not really important for this video. Like if you're doing a client delivery, definitely do like 30, but for this one, we could honestly leave it at 10. I'll just keep the file size small, be easy.
Yeah, that target bitrate is a super great call out. That's actually what's going to make that final output look like compressed or pretty smooth. Like if you're going out to social, even though social is already going to compress it, it might be worth just bumping that up a little bit, since you're not like compressing it and then compressing it again when you go up to social. So that's the key factor right there to get like a solid H.264 export.
Yeah. And honestly, 24 is really small. Let's just go for 15. Like I said, I'd do 30 for a client, but
yeah,
this will be okay. And
cool. They'll be quick to send too as well.
Yeah. All right, so we just hit export.
Super fast. Nice. Cool. So we have that export. Why don't we jump into AfterEffects and start working on that background? And then when I switch to my screen for the Premiere Pro Discord, you can just send me a link to that to my email. And then when we're done, we can just play that back.
Cool. Sounds good.
Sweet. Great plan.
Love it. All right. So like we talked about earlier, when you're making like a graphics package, like that's what I'd probably call this, is like a mini graphics package. Like we've got text, we've got transitions. The one thing we didn't really do was like a background / mortise. And even though I don't think this project need it, say you're going to go like hit up your local DJ and be like, hey, I saw you have a show coming up in 2021. Let's make a project or like a Instagram promo for it, and you can like help promote my motion graphics and we'll help promote your show. So that's what I'm gonna keep in mind here.
Cool. And we have a question from the chat. Travis is asking, do you ever drop noise, say about 2 to 3% on your initial motion graphic renders?
Yeah, definitely. That's a really cool final touch. So we could say we're doing the Maslow's one. We could do an adjustment layer, quick search for noise. And yeah, just like you said, like 2 or 3% is often perfect, which I don't think you're going to be able to see that coming through Zoom.
Yeah, probably not coming in through here, but in the render we will.
Yeah.
But this is cool. And we want to do this, why?
This adds like that filmic, like as if it was actually shot on film. There'd just be a little noise from the, what's the name of the little particles on film?
Grain, like noise and grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Emulation. I don't know. I'm blanking on the name, but anyway, it's cool. It's just like super subtle. Usually don't even notice it. It's got that cinematic quality.
Yeah, it's a great call out. Thanks for asking, Travis.
Yeah, definitely good suggestion. And I would also suggest chromatic aberration, which I don't think, I don't have that installed on this machine.
Yeah, I think Red Giant is the one that has chromatic aberration.
Yeah.
That's a great plugin and suite as well. Again, it's something you do have to pay for, and it's worth just even trying if you want to pay for it, because it's not really the cheapest thing.
Right.
But they do kind of have like all these pretty cool effects that you can do with grain. Travis is saying grain. Yeah, I think it's grain. I don't know. Grain emulsion.
Emulsion.
I don't know if that's the term for it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So noise plus chromatic aberration as an adjustment layer on the very top is an awesome just final touch, and it's super subtle, but it just makes it, I don't know, it just feels real, like as if a camera shot it, even though this is clearly not a camera. It looks cool.
Yeah, that's a great call out. Thanks for bringing it to our attention, Travis.
Okay, so this is going to be really fun. This would, let's see here. So we want something to serve as like the base of our animation, something that's like moving the pixels around, and we're going to use fractal noise for this. I don't know if you've ever played with this, but this is a crazy effect.
I have a little bit. That effect is like kind of a great building block for all sorts of crazy cool things.
Yeah.
Like it looks crazy just staring at it, but it's usually like what you use to make like all sorts of like pretty gnarly things. I mean, it's literally the possibilities are endless with fractal noise.
Yeah, this is a wormhole you can get lost in, but I'll just show you how to make something really cool with the few minutes we have. So there's all these different kinds of, base, like that looks pretty dope, but I'm just gonna work with threads for now. We're gonna do spline. I don't know why this is like one of my go-tos. It just reacts in a really cool way. So you see when you move the evolution, it starts freaking out.
It is freaking out.
Looks alive. And 5 seconds might be a lot for us right now. Let's just go with 3. And how we can keep this thing alive without setting keyframes is by just a quick expression. So we'll option click evolution. And this is a really easy expression. You just type in time times, let's say 200. So that just means at 1 frame, it's going to multiply the evolution by 200. 2 frames, same thing. Or actually it's by the second, but. So now if we hit play, it's automatically animating.
Yeah, expressions, they can definitely seem daunting at first. But if you just kind of start getting your feet wet with like the elementary ones, you'll see that once you kind of grasp the notion of expressions, it really unlocks all the things you can do with After Effects. It really makes things so much easier. So let us know in the chat if you use After Effects. Do you mess with the expressions? Is something you're new to? Is this something that you're sort of familiar with? But we'd love to hear what your take on expressions is.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just kind of messing with the brightness and contrast to get a little bit more of a contrasty look. And let's colorize this. So we're gonna use tint. Tint is like the same thing as fill, except it works with the value of the brightness. So maybe we'll use our red.
Nice.
All right, and then in addition to animating the time, why don't we have...
Travis is saying wiggle.
Oh, I can
Yeah,
hear
wait.
myself all of a sudden.
You can. Yes. No.
I can hear myself talking like 5 seconds in the past.
That's weird. Maybe we can troubleshoot when we jump into Premiere. Do you want me to hop off your screen so you can look at maybe loopback?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. I'll read out some of the chat as well. So Travis uses wiggle. Yes, wiggle is a really fun and easy expression to work with. Let's see, Kyle is saying scared to death of expressions. Yeah, I totally understand that. I was scared to death of it as well. I'm not even going to pretend to know like the basics or know a lot about expressions, but there are kind of some key ones that I use, like wiggle. It really kind of makes things a lot easier. Or I use the loop out one a lot. And what's cool about some of the more recent versions of Premiere is if you know sort of what the expression starts, like the keywords start with, you can start typing it in and actually like gives you like all the options of actual expressions I run with After Effects. So that's something cool to play around with. Cool. How are we looking, Colton? Can you still hear yourself?
Yeah.
You can hear yourself
like
or you can hear me?
I can hear both of us talking like a minute ago. And distracting.
Oh, you know what? I know what's going on. There we go. That should have stopped it.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That was on my end.
Okay.
It's going to drive you nuts.
Yeah, it's kind of tripping me out a little bit.
Yeah, it was giving you the feedback from my computer, which is only to you.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, so just quickly hopping back into this. So I'm animating the offset turbulence, and the offset is just like where the turbulence is. See if I go back and forth, left and right. So we'll start there, and let's we'll pull it like to the left and up. And this will all start making sense while we're doing this in a sec.
Cool. In the meantime, PM is saying, hello, everybody. I'm really new to After Effects, so I'm just watching, and she's got that like face. She's like, this is awesome. We're crazy.
Nice.
Umacorn is saying, haven't tried using expressions yet. Only seen tuts. Paco watching the stream. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's what was going on, Tim. Cool.
Paco watching the stream.
Yeah, it was playing ours. That's why you were like 30 seconds behind, and it was only going to you, which is probably why you were going crazy.
I was like, what's going on, man? All right, cool. So I just duplicated the layer. We're gonna add some more craziness going on here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll switch to like, what else would be cool? Too much. Strings, cool. This looks cool. And then we can switch this to add. Now we're gonna start blending our layers.
Ooh, fancy.
Or maybe we should try like, if you want to shift through blend modes, you can hold shift and hit plus and minus.
Yeah, super useful shortcut. That way you don't have to click and select each one. Just hold shift, select the layer you want to toggle, and do plus or minus, and it'll just go through all those blend modes. And you can real time see how they're affecting it.
And I don't know, this is pretty cool. Let's try adding a glow, see if that kind of like amplifies this layer. Not at
John
all.
Eric in the house. Welcome, John. Good to see you. And then Depunker saying, I'm very new to After Effects, but do have a certain comfort level with Premiere. I encourage you to take the leap into After Effects. It is a little bit daunting at first, but once you get the basic principles, just like any of all the other Creative Cloud apps, you'll see that all the pieces fall together and there's a lot of overlap between these two. And it's really fun too, actually. Like I try and challenge myself to use After Effects for all sorts of things. And there's literally an endless amount of things you can learn with it.
Yeah, totally. All right, so we have kind of this base going on, and this already looks pretty crazy.
It's already looking cool, yeah.
But we're gonna make this more of like a wormhole. So what we're gonna do is add adjustment layer. We're gonna add a mirror effect. Oop. And we set this So we want the mirror to be going halfway down the frame. So 1920 divided by 2. And then we'll have it be 90 degrees. So you can see how that mirrored it in the middle.
Nice.
And now we're going to add another mirror. Oh yeah, divide this one by 2 as well. And this one's 180. See where we're going with this?
I see it. It's like this kaleidoscope effect now.
All right, so I'm thinking it would be cool if this was actually like going out, up.
Oh, we got the cat song playing. You can't hear it, unfortunately, Colton, but we kind of have like a mascot meme song for Adobe Live, and it's this song that has this cat meowing in the background.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like one of the first songs that I ever played in Adobe Live like 3 or 4 years ago.
Sounds good. All right, I made another adjustment layer. We're gonna just keep like making things crazier.
It's looking sweet.
Glow is always a good call. Want the second layer to go out more. All right, now here's one of my favorite effects. This one's called optics compensation. And this is actually for like correcting cameras field of view, but you can use it to make more of a wormhole. So we got a reverse lens distortion, so it's going out. Now we really suck it in.
Whoa, check that out. Now we're like really going into a wormhole.
Crazy. I don't know if this is
Can you
playing smoothly through Zoom, but
a little bit. Can you turn it off and on? I just want to see what that effect just did to everything. Yeah, check that out. Boom, boom. It's like we're really going into warp drive.
Yeah, it's kind of like a radial blur, except it
Yeah.
has more of a camera lens effect. You can
great.
Push it pretty far. We could even like stack some glows. Yeah. All right, this is pretty nuts.
That is pretty nuts. Pretty good. Where's Voodoo Val? She would think we're going into warp drive in Star Wars or something. She's like our resident Adobe Live moderator that just loves Star Wars.
So I have a few more effects that I like to throw on this, but I see we're almost toward time to hop on Discord. Do you want to do that? And then if we have time,
why don't we do Discord real quick, and then we can hop on back to that. So as soon as I get to Discord, Colin, why don't you just email me that link? I'll tell you when we're off your screen.
Okay.
And then I can kind of look at like the first 2 submissions while you do that.
Sounds good.
Cool. So I'm gonna switch to this scene. Cool. So we're off your screen. And let me set up some settings so everybody can hear these next things. All right, buddy. So now we're going to hop into the Premiere Pro Discord channel. Again, this is based off the 1-week challenge that happened last week with Jason Levine. He had all sorts of cool challenges to do with Premiere Pro, and especially if you haven't used that app, it's a great starting point. We looked at some challenges and feedback yesterday. Now we're going to look at some more today. And again, if you want to know how to join the Premiere Pro Discord, here's a real quick bit.ly. Just go to https://bit.ly/PR Discord. Make sure the P and the R are capitalized. It's very important. Of course, Tim's got it in the chat. Great. Thank you. Cool. Now let's hop into my screen and we can start looking at these things. Make that full screen. Great. Actually, let me make sure that you all can get some audio. Cool. Boom. All right. So here we are. It looks like we got a couple new challenges from yesterday, which is great. So we'll just kind of lead with those. Let's look at this one. It's social distancing landscape. Let's see what's going on here. That's cool. They use some elementary graphics. So let's see what this did again. Let's keep our distance together. Yeah, I like this. I think this is a great start with motion graphics. I'm not really sure what the R, H, and SU stand for. Maybe it's right in front of me and I'm missing it, but just looking at this without any context, maybe we can do something with this video where you actually kind of label like what each letter means. Like for example, when they extend out here, maybe you can spread these out and kind of like give those words like what they actually stand for, because I'm just a little confused as to what that means. Cool. So thanks for submitting, French Lloyd. Colton, can you see the Discord?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So now we're going to move into this one. So let's see. What was challenge 3? Challenge 3 was color adjustment. So we can look at this one based on color adjustments real quick. Cool. Then let me make sure everybody can get sound. Hang tight. There we go. Let's see if this has any music. I'll turn it down so it's not super heavy. Ooh, check out that time ramp. Cool.
Nice.
Do you have any feedback on that? I can play it again real quick.
Yeah, I like how it's this real cool as in like cold blue hue.
Mm-hmm. I like how they slow it down here. It goes like,
Yeah.
I think this fade out into the shot for me is just a little too slow. I know you didn't have the option to like work with some more frame rate so that slow motion is a little smoother. But it does kind of stand out here that the transition is just a little too dragged out, especially with the slow motion. So here, maybe I would speed it up, or maybe what I like to do a lot with transitions, especially with time remapping, is I kind of like speed this up and then slow it down into this. Kind of gives it like a natural like speed ramp cut, if that's something that we're going with.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, and then here it looks like it's just a still frame, or it's either going really slow. So maybe for the shot we can actually play it in real time, or kind of make it fast forward, because right now it just looks like it ends on a still frame, even though this whole thing has been video, right? So we kind of don't want this like conflict between like video and then ending like on what it seems like a still frame.
Yeah, and this is kind of an advanced tip, but going full circle back to when we were talking about a noise layer, if you only have a still frame that you're trying to add into video footage, one trick you can do is actually put like 3% noise effect on it, and it'll give it more of a video look, and it won't be as obvious that it's a still frame.
Nice. That's a great tip. Cool. So Regina looks like she did another one. So this was challenge 2, which was create impact, make a dynamic video edit by adjusting speed, duration, and stabilization. So let's have a look at this one. I think that kind of matched with the music. Did you see that?
Yeah,
like the little
cool.
piano like stopped in that. Yeah. Let's see it again. Yeah,
I like the
cool.
Yeah, the edit to the music is great.
Yeah. All right, what do we think? What do we think with some feedback for this one?
Well, color-wise, I think it's a little all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I think definitely the strong point is the editing, especially with the time ramps. Like right here, the color here kind of comes out of nowhere to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think color-wise, we can maybe match it all up, because this kind of looks like, I think there's a cool effect going on, which is what they tried to do. It's like this. I forget what this is called. All the vinyl players can maybe let me know. But this is black and white, and I think in the next shot it comes back. So, oh no, sorry, it's the record that's black and white, and then it comes back.
I see.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of a cool effect. Again, you kind of have to look for it. So maybe if the whole video followed that model, it might be a little bit easier to digest instead of like trying to find Easter eggs on a first glance.
Well,
but I think
it definitely, like, the more I'm watching it, the more I get it, and I like it. Definitely. Yeah, it's like you said, though, it wasn't as obvious the first time around, which could be just the quality of the video we're looking at. But
right, cool. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to scroll all the way up top just because yesterday we kind of looked at most recent and I didn't really see the ones that were like kind of early in. So, all right, let's look at this one. So happy Thursday. Here's my video for the day 4 challenge, which was cut to the beat to music, edit to the beat, select an audio clip and drop it in some markers. Cool. So I'm going to play this. I'm a little hesitant though, because I don't know if they used copyrighted music or not. And I would hate to get flagged. So if I hear a song that I think may not be licensed or something that Jason included, I might have to stop it. But let's check it out regardless. Nope, I think it's part of Jason. So let's check it out. Nice.
wow.
Sweet. Cool. What do we think?
Yeah, I think it's good. You know, what's interesting is typically when you think of editing to the beat, you don't think of using cross dissolves.
Right.
But because of the surfy music and the content of the video, it's actually working.
Yeah, it does kind of fit, doesn't it?
Kind of interesting.
Right there. I like that transition.
Yeah, that was a nice cut. How like
I kind of like how that went with the music too.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's a good thing we were able to hear the music on this one because it's very important to the edit.
Yeah. Something I noted, if you wanted to take this a step further, first of all, great job. I think that was a great submission. It looks like you used your own footage too, which is awesome and encouraged. One thing that I thought could be cool if you wanted to like kind of start taking this a little bit further is this shot where the guy kind of like, it looks like he's contemplating jumping. We have sort of like this snare beat drums that I think it'd be cool if you aligned with like 2 or 3 cuts. Like maybe we like, it's a cut, like a zoomed cut to him and then a zoomed cut to the ocean and then we get back, right? And I think that can really kind of play into like, oh, he's really thinking about making this jump. So I'll let you know what I mean. Like, so right here. You see how you heard those drums? It could be cool to kind of like play with like some jump cuts on like him really contemplating making the jump because we come back here and then it seems like the climax is him just committing to it, right? Boom. Nice. That was great. I like that submission. Good job.
Yeah, really good.
Cool. Let's look at this one. This follows day 4, cut to the beat with music. Let's see what we got. Cool. What do we think?
So it's cutting on the 2 and the 4, which is interesting because you like typically think of cutting to the beat as on the 1 and the 3. You know what I mean by that? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But this was kind of a cool take on it. I like how it's like matching all the flowers. So would this be personal footage then, or was this so far.
I'm not quite sure. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell us. I don't know if this was personal footage. I haven't seen it before, so it might be personal footage. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is great. I would just say, like, next time, let's try, you know, we could like ramp up towards the end, like start cutting double time. So like on every beat instead of every other beat, or just some way to vary it up so it's not quite as monotonous. But I mean, it's kind of cool how all the snare hits were like changing the flowers.
Yeah, I like that. And one thing too that I'm gonna note is I think the challenge definitely serves its purpose is cutting to the beat. But if we had some other music to work with, when I think flowers, I think more like calm, like serenity, like ethereal. I think the music was like a little fast paced for like such a calm subject. So maybe we can find some music that goes a little bit more with the flowers. Like if your goal was to try and make it upbeat, like it definitely serves its purpose, but you know, maybe finding some music that goes with the subject a little better might like make the edit flow a little more.
Yeah.
And then John is suggesting this one could also use a good LUT to bring out the color in the flowers even more. Yeah, I think that's a great point, John. Cool. I want to check something real quick. One sec. Hang tight, everybody. Cool. All right, let's go check maybe 2 or 3 more. We can get back into designing. We have about 20 more minutes left.
Cool.
Let's look at Crippo's Cut to the Beat challenge. Let's have a look at this one. Whoa.
Man, that's crazy.
I think he's got a 360 camera for this.
Oh.
Such a cool effect. Nice. What do we think?
Yeah, I was like very distracted by how cool the camera is. I haven't seen too many of the 360 camera edits.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you had a gimbal on there because it seems pretty stabilized. But I think you just have so much video footage to work with those 360 cameras that they kind of stabilize themselves. Or even if you had warp stabilizer, it does a lot to it.
Yeah, he might have stabilized it. Yeah. So again, this is similar to the last one where it's cutting to the snare, which is like on the 2 and the 4 of the beat, and that's really cool. But it would just be something to consider cutting on the 1 and the 2, which is where like the kick drum hits.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just want to point that out because I think a lot of people getting into editing don't really think about the different beats you can cut on when you're talking about cutting to the beat.
Yeah, I think that's great advice.
But yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, this is a great challenge. It looks like it's personal footage too. I think it's already making us a little nostalgic on how things used to be based on the chat. But no, this is a great submission. Cool. So this is awesome. I'm gonna wrap this up and then we're gonna kick it back to Colton for a little bit. But again, thank you everybody for submitting here and joining the Premiere Pro Discord. I encourage everybody who's not in there and is into video to go ahead and join the community. There's gonna be some more stuff going on there. It's still a very alive community. Just because we had 1 week challenge doesn't mean that it's over. It's a great place to come, and Jason's in there. We have Adobe Live people still in there. So that's great. Thank you all for submitting. So I'm going to flip back to your screen, Colton. There we go. Cool. And in the meantime, I'm going to dig up that video you sent me so we can show everybody
Cool.
the final video.
All right. So there's just like a few more cool tips in After Effects I wanted to point out. Just some things to make stuff look cool.
We have about 10 minutes. Just a quick time check.
10 minutes? Okay. Yeah, all these are kind of just like cherry on top tips. So let's say we added another one of these layers. Another really cool effect is find edges. Actually, yeah, before I throw that on, let me just take off the crazy optics and glow so you can see what it's actually doing. And this warning is telling us that we need it to be in 8 bits per channel color, which is fine. We just go down here, we click 16, switch down to 8. We're not doing like intensive color correction or intense color effects. I mean, it looks like we are, but 8 bits is actually fine for this.
Cool.
Let's switch this to, I'm just going to solo this so you can see a little bit better.
I'm looking at the video you sent, and it's so much smoother, and like you can catch so many little things.
Okay, good. Yeah,
this is great. We'll definitely show this at the end. So
all right,
maybe with about like 2 minutes to go for the stream, we'll play this.
So this find edges is really cool because now we got these like really sharp edges that I think will add a nice detail. Maybe we should make a different color. I don't know.
I have a question from the chat. Aaron is asking, random question. How long will promo Avey be active?
That is going to be active indefinitely.
Indefinitely. So, you heard it here.
That's pretty cool. As long as, yeah, you heard it on the stream here, then it's good to go.
Yep. So definitely take advantage of that. If you're in the market for some cool plugins that are matched to your workflow, got a special discount. So cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, and by the way, Mount MoGraph plugins come with unlimited updates, which is just amazing.
Whoa. Okay, so I was busy doing one thing, and I'm looking here now, and this looks like it's been cultified, as we used to say.
Yeah, we're
getting
How did
you get this like crazy glowy square effect? It was all fractally, and now what did you add to that? Yeah, there it is. What was that?
We made another layer, and I'll just solo this layer. And we just changed to a different fractal type just so it'd have a little bit different effect. And then we threw on this find edges.
Whoa, check that out. That's so cool. Just two, well, it looks like 3 effects there, and you have like this crazy square design thing going on.
Yeah, so block is what makes it kind of squarish, and then the lines is from find edges, which I think is what we kind of needed in this design, is just like some smaller, sharper.
Yeah. Super cool. I'm loving how this is coming out.
So I'm thinking we're getting a little hot because I want this to still be a background. And right now it looks like it's definitely the main attraction. Let's just come in and lower some of the brightness. All right, let's see how it's looking. Yeah, and this on my screen is like super smooth and crazy. I'm guessing it's like a little choppy on the stream.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably half the frame rate that you're probably looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. We could always show maybe like in the description of the replay, we can have like a link to the final render or something if you want to, but we can discuss that afterwards.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'm noticing how like fast it was going, so I'm just kind of playing with. All right, so say we want some extra action. So do a new adjustment layer, put this one at the top, and maybe we'll do one more glow. So these are going to be kind of like flashes. So this will be kind of clubby.
We have Kevin saying more cowbell lines when we did the find edges.
Yeah,
which is good. Perfect. And then Uma Korn is saying transformer vibes like the cartoon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So the squares are looking trippy. And then Morn is saying this was so cool. I have to see it all over from the start. Yes, the replays are available. So yesterday is already on demand on the Behance replays under motion graphics and video, I think. And then this, as soon as we're done, is going to be available for a replay. So anybody that's interested on seeing how all this magic happened, you're getting an inside look on how Colton, as we used to say back in the studio, cultifies things. And makes it look super cool.
That's awesome. All right, so now I added these like intense glows that they're going to be kind of like flashes. So say this was like playing to music. These would be perfect things to put on the beat.
Yeah, it'd be great for like a VJ thing for like a background for some sort of DJ.
Yeah, and this is just another thing I should mention to people getting into AfterEffects. If you make cool stuff like this, there's all these sites online where you can throw your clips up and like have them for sale for VJs like around the world to use in clubs.
Awesome.
And I've made hundreds of dollars just throwing these up, and it's just passive income. It's really cool.
That's awesome. And like, I mean, within what the sake of what, like 8 or 9 minutes, we already have something to work with here.
Yeah,
it's pretty simple to make.
It goes really cool. Kind of makes itself.
Isaac is saying cultivates. Let's have something that cultivates. Morton says, I love it. Cheers from also Norway. Cheers, my friend.
Norway, cool. Okay, so we've only got a few minutes left. So what I wanted to show was, okay, so say this is going to be for a DJ and we want to like put their DJ name on here. So we could just quickly steal like what we had done for the Maslows here. So just copy and paste this and we'll come in here to our background. Oops. All right, so remember this top layer, I had animated the source text, so I'm going to turn that off because otherwise my trick's not going to work here. But what I want to show is linking source texts together.
Okay.
All right, so because since we have 3 layers of this text, oh man, sorry guys, I got so many layers now, it's just taking forever. We can take the source text from this layer, pick whip it to our original one down here. So now this is gonna be the master layer. And then we do the same thing here. Again, I just gotta close a couple tabs because it's so big. Pick whip this one down to the master. That one's not the master.
Go down, barely.
There we go.
There it is, yeah.
All right, so now let's get all these soloed so you can see what's going on for real. For real. All right, so this one has like all of them. So someone in the chat come up with a cool DJ name.
Oh, yes, great exercise. So it'll take about like 20 seconds on our end until we start seeing the responses, but in the chat, let's think of a cool DJ name that we can do in this text real quick. Yeah. We have about 1 minute or maybe a minute and a half before I want to show the final video. So we'll take like the first or second or third option, but let's think of a cool DJ name.
Yeah.
I feel like Jean can probably come up with something witty. We can play something with like, well, we have DJ Pac-Man. Oh, that's just the normal on Adobe Live. Let's see. If we don't see anything else, maybe we can just roll with that because I'm worried that the responses might not get in time. We have DJ Easy Ease. That's a cool one. I like that one.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, let's do DJ Easy Ease. We have DJ Corey.
No, it'd probably be like with the Z, wouldn't it?
Yeah. DJ Easy. DJ Die Dude, DJ Premiere FX, DJ Trash Panda, DJ AE Proud. All right, we're gonna lie here. I like Easy Easy.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
DJ Coltrane. That's Stacy. Hey, Stace. Good to see you.
Stace, what's up? All right, we got the gang back together.
Yeah, the gang.
So you'll see what I did was all I had to do was change this master layer, and since these were all pick whipped with the source text,
yeah,
then DJ it just changed for all of them. Fix it in post. Nice.
I love it. All right, cool. Before we run out of time, I want to show the final rendered product of what Colton just did.
Yeah.
While we were live. So let me make sure my audio is all linked up here, ready to go. Cool. So I'm going to go to my computer. Here we go. So this is the final result. You guys can all watch it with some silky smooth playback motion. And then here we go. Yeah, that was awesome. All right, the volume was a little low, so I'm going to replay it again.
Cool.
And then we can really get the effect. Here we go. I love the dancing guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So cool. It really looks like, is it Nate? It looks like he's just singing with that chorus. Like
Nate, yeah.
Well, watch it one more time. Like, I just love the dancing guy. How the singing does it. There's Colton. Yeah. It's so good. Sweet. Oh man,
Yeah,
job well done, Colton.
I think
It's
we're
been
pretty happy with
cultified.
it. There's only 4 hours total of streaming, so
Yeah, I
pretty
think it
good.
came out great. I mean, we did a lot for this stream. We brought into After Effects, did some design from scratch, did some motion graphic elements, did a quick cut, and even threw in a VJ background with a crowdsourced name. So it's been
Yeah.
a great stream. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, hopefully everyone got to learn something, and definitely, just find me on Instagram at Avey Creative if you have any other questions, or on Behance. It's Behance/Colton Kooker 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions about the stream, and just let us know.
Yeah, we got a lot of love from chat saying, so cool, like this looks amazing, this is crazy, I'm gonna buy that record, high energy, love emojis.
All
Yes,
right.
more power, baby, great results, more emojis, so cool. Who's the dancing guy? Dancing guy, can you hear us? That's from Nate. Who? DJ Dancing Guy, that's great. All right, everybody, we need to sign off before we run out of time, but again, thank
All
you so much
right.
for joining us. Colton, it's been a blast. Thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us, and we will see you all in a couple of minutes. All right, bye-bye now.
See ya.
Later.